What's up, and welcome back to Cleats to Whistle Podcast. I am Brad Valdez.
I am Kevin Watson.
I'm Brandon Meredith.
And I'm Dakota Waldridge.
Hey, the boys are all together. You know, let me say this. You only missed like 2, but I feel like, I got to be like, yo, welcome back, Coach. You know what I mean?
Well, we missed him, then we missed him the next week, then I think we missed him the week after that.
Due to HIPAA laws, we can't tell why I wasn't here, but I did miss 2.
Hey, but yes, we are all together, and we have a phenomenal guest, man, friend of the podcast. But you know what? He's got some walkout music, okay?
Oh,
and here we go. Uh-oh. There he is. Hey, and Watson, you got a little side story for this, right?
Yeah, when we were together at PRP, we used to always talk about the privates were the dark side. So now, is it you want to make it official that you have joined the dark side?
I think it's Twitter official at this point,
well,
right?
go ahead. Go ahead and break it.
Yeah. Breaking news. Do we have a little bottom scroll?
We will.
I am going to be coaching quarterbacks at the Trinity High School this year,
And I've got my green on today in honor.
Yes, I will acknowledge it's going to be different. I jokingly asked if I melt once I put the logo on, but I didn't. I put it on for the first time today. But yeah, it's a new step, a new chapter in the book, one that I would not have predicted that would have been written. But here we are.
Here we go. And if you guys don't know, this is Tommy Williams. Like I said, he's the friend of the podcast. And yeah, we do got some homers right here. We got this guy in green, and look at the chopper over here.
What? I just happen to wear green. It's all coincidence. That's all this is.
Hey, I'm a Trinity fan. I will never pick against them again. I'm a Trinity guy. Now that my guy's over there, it makes it a little easier.
Well, it's 2025. It's a whole new season.
Hey,
this guy hasn't.
Before we go any further, you can say I would never go coach with them sons of bitches. You would not, but until you get the phone call, I mean, you have to go and see. I don't want to say how the other side does things.
No, that's exactly how I would say it.
It's the other side. You need to see how they do things. It's totally different. You don't have to worry about setting up the balls for your drills and the cones. They got people that do that. You don't have to worry about water. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You don't have to worry about grades. You just show up and coach football. It's totally different. There's pressure, yes, but there's no pressure to keep the kids eligible, to get the kids there, get them home, get them fed. I mean, it's all taken care of.
And I've always had a tremendous amount of respect from afar. I mean, Andrew Coverdale's one of the best minds in football, regardless of level. So, yeah, I mean, we've all wanted to be in that situation, right? So now we'll see what it looks like.
There you go.
When you
I
get
love
the phone
it.
call, it's an easy. It's an easy answer.
Yeah. And you know what I mean. You got your Fern Creek stuff on. You're still representing, man.
It's my shirt was wrinkled.
Semi-retired coach right here, man.
Retired.
Okay, so listen, man. Like I said, we got Tommy Williams here, friend of the podcast. This is going to be a good one. Hashtag. Hey, what's in the cup? Let's go.
We got some goodies in there today.
Yes, but you know what? Let's get to this call to action real quick. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and share this episode out, man. We are trying to share the stories. We're basically bringing you the coach's office to you guys, and you get to hear the stories of these great leaders. And man, this guy's he's led some dudes over there at PRP, and he took a year off, but then he dabbled a little bit last year, stayed in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Coach White. Shout out to Coach Reynolds. They let me hang around and scratch an itch every now and again.
There we go. And this is for you guys to get to know these coaches and these players, these young men I say we sacrifice a lot because we actually do in the season. I'm saying me now. I've already been gone from the game 3 years, but I'm just saying when I was in it, there's a lot of time to sacrifice. So, and this is for us to really get these guys and for you, our community, to go out and support whoever you like on this podcast, on a Friday night.
This dude just broke some news on that I didn't know, that he's got his own basketball team now.
We are officially
he just
a
had
starting
number 5.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah,
I told him
we're
there's
done.
ways to take care of that.
Yes, I've been taught the lesson by many people in the last 9 months. So yes, we're going to take care of it.
Yeah, so good stuff, man. 17, 18-month-olds too, man. So you guys are.
I'm not following that footstep.
Hey, don't
Five is
talk about chapters you didn't expect to write. I'm just saying.
5 is about 3 too many.
Okay, listen, if you have not watched the first episode that Tommy was on, it was phenomenal, man. I just got done watching it today, just getting a freshen up of, who Tommy Williams is, man. You got great mentors, and they had some great story times in that episode. I will link that, so make sure you go and listen to that as well.
Did you hear the chopper?
Yeah,
We got some
The real
ambiance.
chopper, huh? Yeah.
I'm just getting ready for my ride in about 20 minutes from now. Don't worry.
Okay, so we also, Coach, you're just hanging out with the housekeeping. This is the production behind the scenes. You're just going to go for the ride with us.
Oh, deal. I'm all for it.
There you go. Okay, this is the housekeeping. Okay, the boys are on the road starting in March. Okay, you want a hint to where we are going?
I can tell you all 4. If
Let's
that's what
go.
you really want.
Hey, throw it out, baby.
We're going
Let's
to
go.
start off with a trip to North Oldham.
Yes.
Then we're going to swing down to KCD. Matt Jones is super excited.
Yes.
Got kids already tweeting out stuff before I even hardly told you what
Hey,
was going on.
shout out Parker Rudolph.
And then we're going to head over to the Big A Factory.
Yeah.
Visit Nino and see what's going on. I'm hearing a lot of buzz around about them, more than last
Lot
year.
of buzz.
More than last year,
More-
if you can believe that.
More than last year, yes.
And then we're going to finish up the month. We're going to go down to Shively and check out Butler.
Interesting.
I talked to G, and he's wanting us to come down. So
Who do they got that week? Do you know?
It's
Either way.
no, I'm talking. This is next
Off-season.
in the
Oh, you're
month
coming right now?
before the season starts.
Oh,
This is next
okay.
month.
All right. New regime. We'll see what they got
we
to
have
say
G's
over there.
excited, and we're going to see what they're about.
Yes.
We didn't get down there last year, so we're going to make a trip down to Shively.
Yes, and also, hey, we are lining up the Derby episode.
Yeah.
This is going to be really fun. If you haven't seen that episode, man, we were just some jackasses on that.
Hey, I think
basically.
we're going to get a bartender in here, and
Are you going to pick some horses?
I don't know what we're going to do.
Hey, you do that, invite me back.
Hey, hashtag what's in the cup. We don't know what's going to happen, baby. Let's go.
seen-
we
I've
can
seen
drink
my-
some lilies and some mint juleps. We can do it all.
I've seen my guy at Churchill Downs more than a handful of times.
He's
over
got
the fundraisers.
he's in first name basis out
Love
there.
competition.
But hey, we're rolling, and we got some good road trips that I'm trying to line out now. Some places that you probably wouldn't expect. Some mountain teams and some places that are on my bucket list that I've never been to that I would love to go watch a game there. I'm not going to give it away, but like a Hazard or a Johnson Central or somewhere that I know these guys have never been. I've been to Johnson Central. I never wanted to coach there again because it was like
They
playing
run the
the
ball at you.
Steelers. I mean, it was crazy.
Can't run away from them.
But and we just want to go some places we haven't been, and it's going to be fun. We're going to make some trips.
Yeah.
We're going to have the old standbys that we go to as well, but we're going to make some different stops this year.
So Brandon, with you being new to the, a lot has changed since Tommy's been on. If it's crazy because I'll put the picture. We didn't have the banner. We didn't have the chopper. And we didn't have you on. So a lot of things changed. A lot of things changed for Tommy. And then, hey, the chapters are right, and they're good chapters, right? Hey, they're good, man. So how have you been feeling about joining the podcast? Are you finding your voice?
I love it. I'm probably finding my voice too much. And some of the questions, I go back and listen, when we post them. Daggone, man, I should have just asked the question instead of rambling, trying to set it up for the guy. But no, I'm enjoying it. It's fun. I love talking ball.
Let's go, Chopper. Okay, now, like I said, this is kind of crazy because it's been like 1 year since you've been on.
It has, yeah.
It was literally about this time last year.
Probably right in the same ballpark. Had no idea what was next, and so yeah, now here we are.
You were still unrestricted free agent.
I was. It's still my Twitter.
Fire-
Coach
what was it?
Williams
Fire Football
FFCA,
Coaches of
Fire
America,
Football
yeah.
Coaches Association. Yeah. Tried to bounce around, see what I was going to do, but take a little bit of time
Hey,
off.
I shared your email out, just didn't get any bites, man.
Hey, look, I get it. Sometimes you got to take a step sideways.
I was looking for that finder's fee. I just couldn't get nothing going, man.
You'd be my agent.
I was
What
trying.
percentage?
I was trying.
We'll negotiate after.
Yeah, well.
And Chopper, you know what I mean. You officially been here a while now. You know, and this is kind of crazy, guys, because I'm just trying to give you guys like a little update on how everybody's feeling. You know this guy, he's all pumped up. You know, it was crazy because we were trying to figure ourselves out too. Because I think Tommy was like the second episode that we ever shot together.
Isaac was first and Tommy was second.
There we go.
Yeah, so it's funny, man. So Chopper,
I mean, being here for a year now, I know what to expect with you all. So I'm just ready to buckle up and I ride. That's how I am. I don't care who is leading the wagon. I'm in the wagon. We're just going. Okay. I'm support through and through. That's all I am right now. I'm one of those guys. I'm giving it everything I got each and every single time I'm out here. Though, you know, we're talking about North, and I got to say a quick little sidebar here.
quick little.
Jackson Brazel. I can't make it next Thursday because of work.
Chicken.
I'm not ducking him. Don't worry, we'll get it. Hey, we'll get it squared up. You and me. We still got that little challenge going
Jackson, I got you, buddy. He's scared of you.
on. But hey, you know what? If anybody else out there wants to face me in a long snapping competition specialist,
He's
I'll
going
take
against
anybody.
a long snapping competition against North's long snapper.
We could get one going here in a minute. I'd love to do a little. No.
I'll take anybody and everybody. Let's go. We're catching it all. But no, I was gonna say we're gonna open up questions here. I got a question for Tommy. I mean, you know, we were talking about high schools that we've all wanted to go to. Is there any high school you've wanted to go and like see a football game or coach at before?
Yeah, we tried to get Boyle County on the schedule. That was, probably unwise of ourselves, obviously. Thankfully, didn't make that happen, but I wanted to go down there and play. We had Hopkinsville on the schedule last year, and I've heard great things about their facility. I thought that would be really cool to get down to, but my kind of bucket list was to get up to Cincinnati and play a game again. When I was at Manual in 08, actually 09, we played Coleraine up there. And always wanted to get back, and we played Taft, downtown Cincinnati. Their stadium's really cool. Got the skyline and the backdrop, and so kind of got to check that off the list a couple years ago.
You're gonna get plenty of Cincinnati this year, buddy.
Oh, there ain't no doubt in that. A little different league.
A little bit different.
Yeah.
Now, does Bobby Flay still come and cook the pregame meals for Trinity? And
I have not got to experience any of that yet. So
we used to make fun of say, Bobby Flay, and they're going to fly their coaches up there to scout them, and we used to. It was funny.
Okay, we got one more housekeeping that we got, and this is the WhatsApp. Listen. Hey, the dinosaur over here finally got on it and actually texted a message. And you know what? It's funny because I said, we got a big fish on the hook for this week. And you were like, big fish? I was like, yeah. And then I put the GIF on. Just go find us and add yourself to the pack. You didn't even know you even did that, did you?
I did it.
Oh, okay. Well, I
thought you were talking about somebody else. I didn't know. Is Tommy a big fish?
We got the big fish, man. He's got the T on his chest
a
now.
big fish is like somebody you search for and you finally
little
catch
Branzino.
it. He was in. He was in. All I had to do is make a call and he was in.
Well, I was trying to get some anticipation and bring people in.
I get it. It just went right over my head. I'm sorry.
Oh my God!
Not that you're not a big fish. You're a great catch for somebody.
South End fish, or fried fish.
You're a highway
That's
guy.
right. We're fish fry guys out here.
Hey, fish fry. Hey, if you ever want to
Hey,
see,
Lent's coming up.
hey,
We need to go to a fish fry and do a show.
and we a pop up podcast at a fish fry. Oh, let's go! You down?
Of course.
Let's just go to Mike Lenning's.
I'm
Let's
married
do
a
it.
Catholic for a reason. Enjoy all of it.
I married a Catholic too.
Oh, I'm Catholic. I'm ready to
Us
roll, baby.
Protestants know how to do it, man.
Let's go. So yes, go add yourself to the What's Up app. We're trying to figure it out. Did you figure it out yet?
No
Oh
chance.
my God,
Not a
Chopper!
chance.
Hey, Chopper, you got it?
Oh, I got it. I'm young. I'm lucky. I get to understand technology. What can I say?
I'll figure it out
Okay.
eventually.
Hey, don't let Vato Loco over here try to fool you. He had no clue what he was doing either.
I did it. That's why I just got.
No clue.
I know I got the notifications. That's all I know.
That's
Yeah.
it.
He was like, "Did it come through?" I was like, dude, leave me alone.
So yeah,
it's
go
midnight.
go add yourself to the What's Up app and look for the pack. And we got like a little wolf head on there. You know what I mean? NWO style. You never know. You know this, right? Let's go, baby. Oh, jeez. Hey, also, I got a bone to pick with you. Well, we're on Twitter, man. You got to be, podcast strong. You can't go with Jackson.
What the hell are you
Did I
talking
miss
about?
this?
Hey, we had
I've lost it.
personality on personality crime because you said Chopper's going down.
Oh,
Chopper is going down.
he's just supporting Jackson.
I'm supporting
I understand.
Jackson.
Be too soon.
I'm
on
for the kids.
helicopters and planes going down.
Well,
Oh,
I'm all about the kids. I'm supporting the kids. Tommy's trying to get shit started over here. We're going to zip right on past that one. Mr. FFCA is FFA over here.
oh shoot! Where's the joke button?
Yeah.
He's got jokes. Tommy's got jokes.
Can you imagine us being in the coaching office together?
Those were the days.
Oh Lord.
With Moore and Reader.
Oh, okay, listen. In our group chat, you know what I mean? Well, let's get to the icebreakers, man.
Which one?
Let's get to the important one.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
The important one.
Okay.
The Girl Scouts, man. They've been taking some heat, man. With all this stuff, they were on a big podcast, and you know what I mean. He let the cat out of the bag a little bit. But my guy right over here, man, you got some personal feelings toward that.
I do. My dad was vice president of Mother's Cookies and for 42 years, and actually invented a couple of the Girl Scout cookies. And it's hard to see where it's gone to,
Right.
Because it was his life for 42 years. I mean, we had cases and cases and cases of cookies, and so it's he would make them in the kitchen. Me and my wife, who were dating at the time, would sit there and we would try them. And yeah, that's a good one. No, Samoa. We had a little Yorkie named Samoa because it looked just the same color as the cookie. My sister has a Yorkie named Samoa.
Really?
Yeah, so we were all in. We had fed us for years.
Yeah.
I mean, but I never was in the Girl Scouts. I ate a few brownies, but I never,
Hit the joke button again. Gosh, dang.
But no, seriously.
I'm over here laughing.
I've been waiting all day for that.
I know you have.
But no, it's and they've taken a hit. But what hasn't taken a hit here recently? To be honest with you, they'll bounce back. They've been around since the 30s, so they'll bounce back.
So okay,
And for those that don't know, they're made on Ralph Avenue down in Chavley. There's 2 factories in the country that make Girl Scout cookies, and one of them's here in Louisville, Kentucky, in Chavley.
yes. So we actually, I wanted to rate like your favorite Girl Scout cookies, but start from give an honorable mention and go from 3, 2, and then 1. What would
Me?
Yeah.
Honorable mention would be the Thin Mints. I think that's probably on everybody's list eventually. I'm not going to go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to give you my 3 favorites. Not in any particular order. Samoas, Do-si-dos, and Tagalongs.
Yeah.
Those are my 3 favorites.
Okay. I feel that one.
I think Samoas are probably a little bit ahead of the other 2.
I think it's more than a little bit, in my opinion.
Okay, so give your
That's my number 1. My 3 are the same 3. Thin Mints, I can't. I don't know. I mean, I'd put them in honorable mention, but
That's an acquired.
I'm not I'm not a mint flavored fan of much. Like even the mint juleps.
Have you ever ate them with a cup of coffee?
I have not.
Dip them in the coffee?
If my wife buys them, we'll see what it's about.
Have I ever lied to you about food?
No, you haven't. No, you haven't. Okay, you know what? My honorable mention is the Tagalongs. If you guys don't know, that's the peanut butter patties back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But my 3 is the Caramel Delights. The Samoa.
Samoas. That's a yuppie. You're a yuppie if you call them Caramel Delights.
What are we gonna do with this guy?
Bro, but that's what they were back in the day.
He texted me that today, and I was like, are you kidding me? No, they've never been that. They are that now. That's a yuppie thing. They're Samoas.
Okay, also, Lemon Ups is my 2.
I can't say on the air what I said about when you said the lemon up.
No, you cannot.
Hey, those are good, but you got to you got to make it like an ice cream sandwich with the vanilla ice cream. I'm telling you,
I've never tried that.
that's
All right,
what
what's
it
your
is.
number 1?
And my number 1 It's the Thin Mint, man. That's the Thin Mint. I love everything mint. You know what I mean? Like those York candies and.
Are any of your girls Girl Scouts?
Tulips. Yeah. No,
Okay.
they're not.
I was gonna
We
say,
do
I'll
have
buy
a
some
box
cookies.
of
I'll buy some
tagalongs at the
cookies
house
for
right now.
I'll buy some cookies for him.
No, that's what he.
I went for 40 years and never had to buy when my dad retires, and I'm like, where'd all the cookies go?
Okay, Tom. Do you have a?
It's just 2 for me. Tagalongs were they're at the top of the list for me. But I grew into coconut, so Samoas are probably, now they're probably my one.
Not Caramel Delight,
Yeah.
Samoas.
The rest of them, you can have them.
That yuppie crap. Get
Kind of where
them.
I'm at. Yeah.
Okay, Chopper.
I guarantee it. He's got a totally different because he's younger.
And he's probably never even tasted one.
Are you kidding?
What do you mean I ain't never tasted one? I used to be a fat guy. Okay, we all know this. Look on Facebook. The pictures. I look like a hippopotamus.
Let's hear it.
No, I've only got 2, just like Tommy. Number 2 is tagalongs. Number 1's Thin Mints.
There you go.
Let's go. I got a Thin Mint
Samoa's
guy.
not even making the list.
That's tough.
No, I do not.
tough.
Well, it's because
I don't
he's
care for them.
Well,
You either like coconut or you don't.
exact. I think that's what it is.
And I think another thing, I don't like the texture of Samoas.
Fair.
Get stuck in your teeth a little.
Yeah, a little too much. I feel like I have to have a toothpick or something every time I eat a Samoa. So I think that's one reason I just never cared for them too much.
I feel like that about chicken wings. I don't quit eating them.
Valid point. Valid point.
I'd be as small as Chopper if I'd stay away from chicken wings.
That's a great question because I guarantee if you do 100 people, you'll have probably 1 or 2 of the same. But your younger crowd, see the lemon drops weren't even around when we were kids. That's like within the last 5 or 6 years, maybe.
Doesn't belong in cookies. Sweets, in my opinion.
Whoa,
Yeah,
I'm taking offense to this.
Thanks, yeah.
I'm feeling attacked here. That's my
You
number
should have felt
2.
attacked when I texted what I texted.
Do I put it in the? Do I? Put
No,
it?
absolutely
You do
not.
not.
No.
That might go.
That's premium subscriber stuff there.
That goes against the FFA, the FDA, all of it.
DEI, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, now this icebreaker is basically Tommy's. You know what I mean? This is the baby right here. This is what we were talking.
And let's preface this. I threw him a bone and let him
I'm
think
still
about
not
it.
there, but I will see what comes out.
Yes. Okay. So we talked to Coach Dick last week, and he was like, I can throw a Mount Rushmore up real
But he
quick.
just kept going.
Yeah, it's just like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, whoa.
Whoa, we got to stop at 4.
Yeah.
I think
Remember
we
he said he thought there was 5 on Mount Rushmore.
should set the rule. There's got to at least be 1 honorable mention, maybe 2.
No,
I don't know how you all
no.
feel. No?
We got to narrow it to 4. We want to make it tough.
no, we'll give him an honorable.
We'll give him 1 honorable
So a
mention.
top 5, essentially.
Yes.
basically top 5, but
Now the rule is it's the player you have coached, and it's the best 5 players you have coached.
Sure.
Not your favorite.
No, I understand.
Not Dan Syme because he was your favorite.
Good kid.
Yeah.
Saw him not too long ago. He's doing well.
Hey Dan, how you doing?
shout out Dan. There you go. Okay, the floor is yours, Coach.
This is gonna be tough.
Yeah, so like you did your Girl Scout cookies, it's not in any particular order, right? So I'm not
Right.
ranking them. It's just they're on the list.
So no Abraham Lincoln. You're not gonna.
We're just going to keep it. Who's the guys who we get to carve the faces of? Taywan Taylor has to be on that list, both in high school production and beyond. I think he's still in the top 25 in receiving yards in the history of college football, if I'm not mistaken. But spent some time in the NFL
I think you're right.
with the Titans and the Browns. So he's on there. Santana Creighton is the most talented football player that I've ever coached, and I think that he will have those accolades at some point. He's at Tennessee State right now, getting himself good and healthy. So hopefully he's going to be on the field this season, and he'll go prove me right. I went back on this a little bit from our previous conversation, but Beanie Bishop's got to be on the list. The only reason that I wasn't going to put you on there is because high school, wanted to wring his neck sometimes on the defensive side of the ball. I still think he's a receiver. I know it's stupid. He's playing nickel for the Steelers right now, doing a really good job of it as an undrafted free agent. But
Made me very happy.
yeah, no, he's got to be on that list. And so now that you allowed me to kind of punk out with the honorable mention, I'll go with both quarterbacks. So then number 4 would be Spencer Sumter. He didn't necessarily do it at the next level. He's doing great things in his own personal life, but he on a high school football field was about as bad a boy as they came. And then Caden or Tip Anderson was probably the most productive in the course of his entire career with us. So that kid's got to be on the list as well. And I left off a lot of people. So apologies to everybody that's going to text me after this.
Just tell them you love them.
They know that. Yeah.
They're not going to watch this crap anyway.
Okay, now I'm actually like the list, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna put Brandon on the spot a little bit. I didn't text this in the group because I wanted, you've been at Fern Creek, man, for what, almost 10 years.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Could you do this list? Could you do a Mount Rushmore?
I could, but it wouldn't be very efficient. Mine would be like offense. Like, I mean, okay, I'll give you 4. Kyrie Hawkins got to be up there. Kid was good offensively and defensively. I'm gonna say Shamar Bryant. He was the quarterback when I first got there. Back-to-back Final Fours. I mean, how do you argue that?
Is that the year they watered the field on us over there?
Hey, quit putting strays out, man. These guys.
Those games. They won't talk to me for a year afterwards.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? I have nothing to do with that, Tommy.
I'm kidding, Abel. I'm kidding.
I've got a name on that I'm curious if you're going to throw out.
I'm going to say Travis Moten. I mean, how do you deny the sack leader from last year, who's at Michigan right now? And I'm going to go off script a little bit. Damari Owens. I'm pretty sure he ended up going to U-Pike, but we pretty much said in the coach's office, let him touch the ball 3 times, he's going to score. Like, whether it's punt return, kick return, receiving, playing safety, if he gets the ball in his hands 1 out of every 3rd time, he's going to score.
You know who I think the best Fern Creek kid I ever coached against? Kinslow.
Yeah.
Lamarius Kinslow.
I can't claim him.
He was there before you.
Yep.
Okay.
That kid was a dude.
He was there the year before me, so.
Okay.
And,
then I'll forgive you for leaving him off the list.
and,
Hey, he was fact checking you,
Hey,
man.
he was a dude.
Come on,
and
man.
my honorable mention, probably Michael Malone. Back-to-back 1,000-yard rushers. KP, I love you. You know I love you, so I'm giving you 5 other guys.
Oh, hey, you know what I mean? You had Tim Cherry, too, the phenomenal O-lineman. But Moten, I agree with that one. That one was a good one.
21, I think final tally was like 21 sacks this past season. I mean, it's insane.
Crazy.
Well,
Okay, here we go, man.
12 of those were against Fairdale. So.
Hey, they are on the schedule.
That is true.
Hey, cover 0, baby. Hashtag cover 0.
0.
Hey, other teams figured out how to block him. Certain teams in the playoffs figured out how to block him, so.
Hey, there you go. You know what, Coach? Let's get into this podcast, man. I hope you guys are enjoying this, man. But make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Dude, we're just, like I said, we are bringing the coach's office to you, and it's just us being coaches, having that brotherhood, and just giving it to each other too. You know what I mean? Hey, you can razz us. You can, especially this guy, man.
Oh, I know that one.
But he don't want to get me started on stories. I can tell you that right now.
Okay, you had some adversity last year. We don't need to go into the, you know what I mean? The past is the past. You know what I mean? But you took this year off. You really got to, just like be a football guy. You know what I mean? And not have to worry about being the head coach. You know what I mean? What you learn about yourself, this season?
Yeah, no, it's a really good question. The when you don't have to coach, I guess, and you kind of take yourself out of it, you think, well, maybe I could do something different. Like maybe I'm not a football coach. Life doesn't have to be all about that, and so explore that a little bit. And no, that is definitely not the case. So it took me till about July 11th to get to a practice, and the ability to kind of step back and not have to be responsible for it all. I kind of thought that is where I had gotten to, once you're a head coach and you're the guy who's pulling the strings on some of these decisions and, how can you see yourself integrating into somebody else's program is what I learned how to do. My wife gave me great advice on that too, because, I was trying to get myself to the next level and be a position coach. And she said, well, you're not going to be a head coach at that level. So don't you have to learn how to do that? Isn't that a skill? And so that's what I think I took away from it was the ability to take a step back, relieve some of that responsibility and just focus on, a piece of it and to be great at that.
Wow.
Hey, He outkicked the coverage. I'm telling you right now.
No, that's for certain.
You know, and you know the adversity that you had. You know what I mean. You have a year to just decompress and really understand. You know what I mean. What happened? You know how. This is a two-part, and it's because you know where was your mindset? You know what I mean at the beginning of last year.
Yeah, I mean the day that I found out that I wasn't going to be the head coach anymore, it was, well, where am I going to be the head coach next? Like you immediately get into that. It's just what you've wired yourself to kind of think through. So go through the interview process at Manual, and you know that doesn't play out. And so then what's next, and where are you trying to go? And then when those things don't fall into place, you ask yourself, okay, well, like what step do I take? And for me, that was wanting to be a college football coach, and so spent some time at Louisville last spring trying to stick my nose in there and, you know, pipe dream, but I'm a dreamer, so why not try? And so that doesn't play out, and then it's maybe I'm not supposed to coach, and so you go through that cycle a little bit of maybe it's time to step away from it and focus on the kids and be a dad and got to coach my daughter, not coach my daughter, but, you know, work with my daughter playing softball last year. And then so kind of go through that phase of it. And then once football season comes around, it's like, I at least got to be around it. Like, I know I'm not ready to go head first and to be, you know, either calling plays or whatever that is. Like, let me just be there. And so I kind of got to do that. And that's why I really appreciate Coach White and Coach Reynolds last year letting me hang out and to get to see somebody else do it differently and take some lessons away from that. And so, yeah, went into this off season saying it's time to take an official step forward, and so that's where we're at.
There you
I'm
go.
not gonna lie. I went to Atherton's practice to see my guys, and I turn around and Tommy's working with the quarterback.
I was not working with the quarterbacks. I at no point in time coached any player on any field in 2024.
Okay, you were standing over there with the quarterback.
I like quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Well,
And
yeah,
he was
just.
I was like,
quarterback
"What
guy.
the hell are you doing here?" He goes, "I'm just a football guy."
And he's like,
What I tell you last time he was here, he's a football guy. He's not gonna stay away. You can't.
Well, you get to be the old guy. I mean,
That's
I'm only
right.
38, but you know the guy who just shows up to all the practices. And,
That was me. I was standing there
And basically-
watching.
hey,
and
basically
I
be
turned
Watson.
around, and there
Yeah.
was Tommy. I was like, "What the hell are you doing here?"
hey,
But I get it. You know, Justin's on that staff. You and Justin
absolutely.
are friends, and you know, I mean, I've got three of my former coaches on that staff, so it was just weird to turn around and
it was weird
I
for
was
all
like,
of us.
"What
Don't
is
get me wrong.
Tommy doing here?"
yeah. But
And I miss, but he wasn't working with it.
I
He was over there. He was over there.
he was just being nosy. Is what it is. Hey,
No,
you
you're
know,
right.
and that's
You're
what's up. But what, you know what I mean? Like, what mentally got you through that? You know what I mean? Did you lean on family? Did you lean on friends? You know what I mean? You got this guy you can talk to anytime you want as well.
Obviously, 9 months. And
Yeah.
he was leaning on his wife pretty hard there.
Everybody, right? And I
Yeah.
am super fortunate to have people in my life that I can talk to and bounce things off of and go spend time with. And, you know, got to reinvest in my kids. I haven't been home on a Monday evening, a Tuesday evening, and, you know, during spring and things like that. And so going to softball games, and it was our first time playing softball, so got to enjoy that. And unplug a little bit, but then really, you know, bounce ideas off of the guys that I trust. And that's why I spent time at Atherton at Butler, Nick McNeil over at Butler, and guys that have coached with me before, Kelly at Atherton, and to kind of live through them during that football season, you know what I mean? And at least stay attached enough to it to say, where do you fit in this and whatever your next step is. So, whole lot of people around me that said, suck it up, step forward.
So I want to ask.
Listen.
I want to ask. This is a tough question, and I'm going to throw it out there. Are you over what happened at PRP?
Do you have PRP schedule up?
Well, we can talk about that. That's
No, that's
Are
not what I
you-
meant.
are
Do you know
you-
who they have week 1?
yeah. And I know that it's going to be ugly whether you were there or not.
Sure.
But are you mentally, not emotionally, I mean, I know you'll probably never emotionally be over it, but are you mentally, have you moved on, or is it now always going to be in the back of your head where, like, man,
If I have
if I were still there, this would happen, or if I were still there, would it be the same?
Yeah, I don't.
No,
I don't
nothing
do
against
that.
Brandon
Yeah.
or anything that's going on
No,
over
I
there
get
now.
what you're saying. I don't do that. I don't live in the if I were there, what would it look like? I don't go down that path. But if any of my players are watching this, they're laughing because they know I will not forget and I will not leave that.
I knew the
behind me.
answer.
So-
I just wanted to hear it.
I get it.
I think it's just a weird situation because it's a
Yeah.
spot you wouldn't have left.
Right.
Like,
I would have been there for
unless-
the rest of my life until somebody made me leave, and
Right.
they made me leave. So here we are. Yeah.
because that was part of my first question that you kind of went in on. Like it's just a weird situation.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like it's a hard feeling situation like I pass you in the grocery store and I want to fight you. It's not that, but it's
It stings.
sure 100%. Any coach that's been fired or moved on from or whatever term you want to use, you're going to have that in the back of your mind. And if you get the chance to take that out on somebody on a Friday night, then by all means, we're using all 6 timeouts.
Let's
And
go.
I said it. I said it during the last one. It's not the same without him over there because I think I got the numbers all screwed up. What was it, 12 or 14 years you were there?
14. Yep. 7 and 7.
So, I mean, to me, it was just weird walking in the pass gate over there and looking over and like, Tommy's not here.
How's it look? Is it nice?
It's a very nice facility.
It's nice.
About 10 years too late. Let's put it that way.
It's very nice.
You know what, and we always talk about this. You know, I mean, this is a common verbiage that we use. You know, with running backs or with anything. You know, we always call fall forward. And this is basically what this episode is basically hashtag fall forward.
Absolutely.
And you did that.
Oh, you ever heard the term step in shit and come out smelling like a rose? There's a prime example.
Well, and I mean,
No, I mean, seriously.
yeah. Well, and
Everything happens for a reason. You
Sure,
know this.
Sure. And perception is perception about, if I've got the big T logo on or, and some people, I have friends that ask me, do people consider that a promotion of some form? And I don't look at it in that way. There's an awesome group of dudes out there at Trinity right now that were interested in me coming out and sitting down and talking football, and it felt like the right fit for all of us. So, get a chance to live through that. But then I'd be lying if I'd said I wouldn't still be sitting, in the coach's office at PRP if I had the opportunity. So it's just all those things live simultaneously, and it kind of is what it is.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. We always tell our guys, fall forward, man. And it's good that, you were on the podcast last year, and I just feel like, you fell forward. And it wasn't because of, you worked for this. It wasn't just given to you, you know what I mean?
Right. No, absolutely. And still plenty of work to do, right? I mean, I know at a place like Trinity, they've won a lot of games before me. They're going to win a lot of games after me, and whether or not I'm there is probably irrelevant to the outcome.
Well, let's be honest. Jay Cobb gives 2 shits about you satisfying your personal.
Might still not know my name. I don't know.
If you
No, I'm
have
kidding.
personal,
Hey, Coach
if you
Cobb,
have
I'm
any
kidding.
personal beef or whatever with PR, he could care less.
No, it's got nothing to do with that. And it's always about
How
the
weird
kids.
is it going to be though if you're still there the second year when they go to PRP? Or is it at PRP this year?
No, it's at
It's at
Trinity.
Trinity.
This year. Yeah.
How weird will that be? Because I felt a certain kind of way. I left on my own accord.
Yeah.
But when I went back and we played y'all in like freshman JV, it was weird. Just walking. It was weird to me being on the other sideline. If that makes sense.
No, 100%. And I would assume McNeil got to live that experience
Yeah.
this year. He was at Butler and
Yeah.
was on the other sideline. I don't know. I can't imagine the emotions that would go. I mean, I lived off of Greenwood Road, right? And I won't drive back down it. So
Dude jog to
it's-
practice every day.
Yeah, I would. So it's just,
Yeah.
yes, it would be very different. And I will cross that bridge when I get there.
And you have a lot of personal stake in the building over there.
100%.
I mean, your wife was there for
Absolutely.
years, and
Went
I
through
don't want to get into that,
Went
but
through a lot while
with
you were
her
there.
passing while she was still there, I mean, there's a lot of deep connections to that building,
Yes.
and a lot of the people that are still there.
Well, and the families that you convinced into staying in your neighborhood, right?
That's
so
right.
you kind of have that
Yeah.
allegiance to the kids that maybe had opportunities to go elsewhere in the city. And, we always felt that PRP was going to be able to provide you with the education that you needed, a sports experience that you need to get where you want to go. So it's not like you feel bad that you left them there in that way, but at the same time, like that was kind of your responsibility was to see him through the door. So Tucker Roth is wrestling in the state championship this weekend, and he's undefeated, and he's the best heavyweight in the state, and so you
What a stud.
still cheer him on, and so all those guys are
Tucker, golly.
you're still their fan.
Yeah, he's definitely a dog.
Hey, hashtag, hey, this is the dog button guy.
Button man.
Yeah, hey, this is
I'm not trying to get you to be controversial. I just
No,
t-
I'm an
it's
open
gotta
book.
be
Tell
it's
the
gotta
truth,
be
yeah.
weird and emotional.
Yeah.
Because you put 14 years in a place, I don't care. I was there 8 or 10 years, and it was weird. And you had a much bigger stake in it than I ever did. So I was just curious of.
Oh, I follow. I mean, it's still hard to go down the old street that we lived on, and for my entire adult life. And so, no, I genuinely don't go over there.
Well, if those walls could talk,
that's healthy. I don't know. Right? I get it. Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
I've heard that's a good thing that those walls can't talk.
that if you go back there next year, it's going to be a different experience.
Yeah, Brandon, go ahead. You got a question?
Well, coming off that, what are you looking forward to being a position coach, not the head man?
Yeah, I told Coach Cobb this when we sat down, the ability to focus on my craft as a quarterback's coach. Because if there's one thing that I really took away from, I literally just hang out and watch practice every day of the spring last year at Louisville, but the amount of depth that they're able to get to at their position, because everybody's literally responsible for their position group, right? So that is your sole and only focus. And so to get back to what drills can I do now that's my full focus, right? I don't have to take the running backs with me because we got a coach that's running late from work. Like, for me, it's the time that I get during individual drills is focused on that. So when I get to go into clinics, listen to Ken Zampese this weekend, Falcons assistant, and he's talking quarterback play. I get to nerd out on every little detail of it. Not that I wouldn't have in the past, but now I get to go implement it. Like, I get that extra time with those guys. And hopefully what you allow yourself to do is, whether or not you become a coordinator again at some point, or a head coach again at some point, or a position coach at the next level, you've got that foundation to build off of to translate that elsewhere. So, hey, here's what I think a position coach should look like, and you get to teach the younger guys and kind of develop on yourself, and that's something I haven't really got to do in several years now.
I've sat in a few of those quarterback clinics, and you've been in there.
Well, and let's be honest, Tommy's got a pretty good quarterback at Trinity this year.
Pretty good is an understatement.
Yeah.
He's really good, and you
Really
win
good.
you win 2 state championships your freshman and sophomore year. It comes with big expectations, though, right? You got to go back it up again. So
that was another question I had. What do you think you're bringing to that kid's game?
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Because, I mean, he's set up for
He's such a smart
Well,
kid.
and he's got-
possibly, 4-year run at this thing.
Sure. Well, and he's got a football dad, right?
if you lose this year, it's all your fault.
Told somebody that at the clinic this past weekend. I was like, my job is to not screw it up. Like, it's already, obviously, the trains are on the tracks. Don't go jump in front of them. But, specific to Zane, he's grown up as a football kid, and he enjoys it. And so the other night he's in the gym working, and his mom's rolling a ball at him, and his dad's catching the balls. And so it's a family affair with that. And so I'm still trying to honestly learn where it is that I fit in that. And so if it's trying to help him in the leadership realm of, okay, you're not the sophomore anymore. You're going to be a guy who's a returning starter. So what does it look like for you to really own that locker room? And then maybe we can give him a little more at the line of scrimmage now. He's, again, coming back. He's done this before. He's going to be comfortable and maybe getting us in and out of some plays that maybe didn't allow him to do, or they did allow him to do it, but doing that to a larger degree. But I don't want to jump in and pretend like I've got some magic solution that's going to make a really good kid better at this point. So try to stand back, learn where I can jump in and do what I can.
But a new set of eyes, you may pick up something that last year's quarterback coach didn't see, or that Jordan hadn't seen, or that Zane hasn't felt.
Just a different approach.
It may just be something little that puts him from here to here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, statistically, I'm sure he would love to be able to put bigger numbers up this year. And not that they didn't obviously have a great year last year, but offensive guys want to score points. So maybe there's some little wrinkle that we can slide in, some scheme that, I've got experience with from my past that fits really well with what they do. And try to add that. So, yeah, it's more about taking the experience that you already have and plugging it in where you think it makes sense, and not trying to go do it all your own way. It's like, you guys got this figured out. Let me see if I can add a little spice.
Well, RPO and Trinity.
Yeah, they've already got that in, but I got one that I want to see if I can talk Coach Williams into. But yeah.
Okay, so this is we heard this song in week 15. Okay, we heard it a lot, and I don't know if you probably heard it. You know what I mean? But this is our song, man.
This is what you want to hear.
This is what you want to hear. This is what you want to hear, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, but Hey, that's Watson's favorite song.
They played that the whole weekend at the state
I heard
championship.
quite a bit. I understand.
You talked about the leadership, you know what I mean, that you could possibly, you know what I mean. Now, listen, you have us, in the room right now. You know what I mean? What would be like your message to, like, say Chopper is the O-line coach, you know what I mean? But like, what would you say to him, like on like a daily, being the head coach, and you being the leader, would you micromanage, or would you just free reign,
Now, I am a paraprofessional technically, so I don't teach. And so my day job and working at Humana, I've been a leader for many years, and those are grown folks that are professionals, right? So you hired them to do a job, so allow them to go do the job. Now, my then responsibility as a head coach is if I see something missing or if I see something that we could add, then, hey, what if we, so, kind of approaching things in that way. But I also think that the head guy or whoever, I don't care if you're just the coordinator at that point and you're talking to a position coach, setting the energy of the practice, I think we're always responsible for. And that's the really hard thing to do. It's easy to do in July. It's even easier in August when nobody's lost a game yet. But when you're in October and things aren't going well, can you still show up on Tuesday and give those kids the effort that they deserve? Because then when you bring that energy to it, the offensive line coach is going to show up, because if Coach Williams is going to do it, then I'm not going to go hide in a corner. Like, I don't care if we ain't won a game. Like, we got to get back into inside drill, and we got to bring something to it. So I think it's more of the people talk about culture. That's who you are on Tuesday in October to me.
And it's because it's funny because I think it was week 2. I was out interviewing Fairdale, and we were doing coach's spotlight. You know what I mean? And Trey was right here. And who was the running back coach last year?
Raiden.
Hey, we were over here talking, having a good time. We were bantering back and forth, and then I got this big guy comes through. He's like fired up. You know what I mean? This is pregame.
I had the jam box on my shoulder. And
yeah. He was walking through. And
1980 back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was fired up. But that's what I'm saying. Is like, do you have the juice? You know what I mean? Because at that level, it's going to be expectations going to be higher. You know what I mean? So I just hearing that answer, it just fires me up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's only February too, right? Let's get out there. Let's get a helmet. Get some shoulder
Now,
pads.
in all fairness, he's been on both sides, because we talked about it before we came. We played Trinity 2 times in 3 weeks one year, and we knew damn good and well those were the worst practices we ever had, because we knew damn good. They just beat us, 56-0 in the regular season.
We did not gain a first down in the regular season.
And had to play them 2 weeks later in the playoffs, and we were like just trying to keep them interested sometimes, like he said, whether you're 0-10 or 10-0, or you have to bring the energy, and some guys got it and some guys don't. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Trinity's not really it's kind of, they don't really have to get their kids fired up.
Yeah, no, and
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, because
They do, but it's different.
that was my point, and I was going to ask Brandon this. You know what I mean? Like, if you were a head coach, how are you going to go into week, 8, 9, and you got maybe 2 wins? You know what I mean? What's your philosophy? And just bring the energy, or what?
Go in the same way you did week 1.
Yeah, you have to.
This could be the week, and everyone makes playoffs. So here we go.
Well, I'll never forget what Jason Heiser said that week into the game. We knew we had no chance in hell of winning that game. And he said, you know what? Go out there and have some fun, compete. This is the last time some of you guys are ever going to play football. Go out there like it's your last time, have some fun. And we ran reverses. We ran fake.
Absolutely. We ran
they still
some
beat
speed option. I was
they
not
still
living in
beat the
option
crap
world,
out of us,
yeah.
but we had fun. I mean,
well, you owe it to the kids.
That's right.
You have to, whatever you're going to ask them to do, you've got to ask that of yourself. And I know that seems so simple to say out loud, but living that out gets really tough. It's easy to cuss them out on Friday and, do this, do this, do this. Well, Coach, you didn't show up on Tuesday because you didn't think we were going to win. Like, you got to kind of back up your mouth every now and again.
Been moping all week.
Yeah,
Expect kids
Bingo.
to come
I
out
want the
on time.
cousin Eddie. Bingo.
Bingo. Hashtag FallForward. This is the FallForward episode, man. We have Tommy Williams here. Hashtag what's in the cup, man. Hey, Chopper's got the virgin version of this drink.
I was like, where are you going?
Show your water bottle, man.
I'm just drinking the H2O. That's
Let's
all
go.
I need. I didn't know where that was
I
going.
didn't
at
know, wasn't
first.
real sure where he was going with that.
Hey, boys being boys, and this is what it is, man. It's just us hanging out, and for you to really understand what this guy's all about, a quality guy, man, a football guy.
Thank you.
I got one for Tommy real quick. I'm kind of curious. Quarterback coach, it's clear as it can be. What is your favorite drill to kind of do during, summer workouts or anything to quickly learn, oh, this quarterback's got this, but he needs to work on this a little bit? Like you can see their hip movements not working. Like, what's your drill you can work off? And it's like your starting platform of, oh, we need to really work on this now because I've just noticed it.
Yeah, I'm big on video, so I think that you got to film it, and then that allows you to slow things down and really let you get into the finer points. And that's part of the things that I've got to nerd out on the past few months is really getting into what the biomechanics are. And there's an NFL films doc that everybody's got to go watch. Jason Garrett did it. It's incredible. But how far into
Okay,
the
wait.
weeds-
Well, what is that?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. Jason Garrett did a.
You can find it.
21 minutes. Yeah, you Google NFL films Jason Garrett. I bet it comes up. But the art of throwing or something along those lines, and he goes through and Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Josh Allen tweaked his mechanics, and he was talking through how he kind of tweaked his. And if there's one bandwagon I want to get on when it comes to coaching quarterbacks, it's that I don't care how good you throw it, you could probably throw it a little better. Now, whether or not you got to go change everything's different, but because then Tiger Woods jumps in my head of maybe he changed it a little too much. But when those guys are still trying to find little tweaks and wrinkles to how their motion is.
Yeah.
And they're on top of the world. So
Yeah, absolutely.
So you go to the best to figure out. And it is called the quest for the perfect throwing motion.
That's it. And that's what I think we should all be trying to do. Because when we're teaching high school kids, some of these kids may have never thrown the ball. Coach, I want to be the quarterback because I saw it on TV. And it's like, all right, well, I'll try. But I think that we kind of quit on kids a little too early because maybe they're not as polished as we want them to be. And at the high school level, we don't always have that luxury. So sometimes you got to train a kid into what it is. But back to your original question, video it and really break that down. And that's what I've been trying to do with a couple of guys that I've got a chance to work with this offseason and really weight transfer and takeaway and how can we get our elbow position in the right place and just some of those finer points. So, yeah, video them up day one.
Film never lies. The eye in the
it does
sky
not.
never lies.
You're talking my language right now.
So I know you've only been there a short time. What, 2 weeks? Officially a week.
Yeah, officially a week, hanging out, watching.
What's the main difference between what they do and what everybody else does? If you had to nail it down to one thing, what's the difference?
I ain't nailing it down to one thing, but I can make it packaged. The amount of adults that want to do a great job, not that we don't all want to do a great job, but the total number of adults that they can put around the kids and support. Mike Snyder does an incredible job in the weight room, but it's a great example. Walked in there on Monday, and, I'm ready to go. I've been in the weight room. I ran the weight room for 14 years, so it's like, I'm going to go get the kid's chest in position, and we're going to get his butt down, and it's like, I don't have anything to coach because he's already done that, right? So he took care of his responsibility at an elite level. So that's not something that I then have to concern myself with, which is what you talked about earlier. Now, doesn't mean that they're not putting in the same level of work, right? But they get to break those pieces up in a way that really allows you to.
Because there's the sheer number of people.
Right. And then that breaks down into things like film. And that's what I've been absolutely blown away by is the job that they do with capturing everything that they do, which allows you as a coach, if all I got to worry about is quarterbacks, to go in there and really refine some of those details. And it's a great process. And I think they do there's a reason they're winning championships, and it's not just they got a bunch of Division I kids out there.
Right.
The process is elite.
You remember when we were playing Eastern in 13 and we turned around, there were like 6 Trinity guys scouting us. You remember that?
I don't remember that, no.
And I think it was Reader. Reader goes, that's the difference. They're over there playing. They were playing Scott County at the time.
It was probably Tommy Fox. Was he over there at the point? Was he one of them?
Probably was.
Yeah,
Tommy.
he does a great job.
I worked with Tommy for years at Breck.
Yeah,
Tell him I said hello, by the way.
Absolutely.
But we turned around. We were winning. They were keeping us to score. Scott County was winning, and we were like, oh, we're going to play Scott County. Blah, blah, blah. And we turned around, and I think it was Reader, and there were like 6 or 7 guys in green scouting our game already. We were like, that's the difference.
Well, and it's before the
we
quality
can't
of
afford
film
to
was
send
great,
somebody
too.
to the Trinity Scott County game.
Lord, no, you don't have enough individuals.
Right.
Yeah, when you get out there on the sideline and you see that many adults on the sideline, and we don't have access to those. And I mean, it always sounds like an excuse on both ends of the spectrum, and like well, you guys have this, and that's why you win. You still have to do those details really elite. And
You have to put in the work.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, you could have 25 bums, terrible coaches.
And sometimes that's a problem, right?
That's
you got
right.
conflicts and, heads bumping
right.
and egos get in the way. But, yeah, it's tough to manage that.
I just thought it was funny because they literally knew who they were playing and what we were doing before we even knew who we were playing.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was just like, okay.
I say we only had the luxury like on bye weeks or if someone was playing on a Thursday or a Saturday because of officials. So, yeah, being able to send 6 guys.
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember the old days where you actually had to meet and exchange VCR tapes.
That's before me, buddy.
Well, you know what? With our staff in Michigan, we were in the middle school program, so we were the film guys. So we'd actually have to go and film. So then after the varsity game, we'd meet up with them, and
You'd meet halfway. So like,
Well,
if you're
no,
playing,
we would drop-
You're playing
we would-
North Hardin, you met down there at Fort Knox somewhere or something, and you exchanged tape.
yeah, because
There
before
wasn't huddle.
well before huddle, yeah, you had to go and physically
That's right.
film it. So that was me.
Believe it or not, when I played, it was the reels.
I believe
my
it. I believe it.
Goodness gracious, bro!
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you.
Then it
old.
went to VCR tapes, and it was hot stuff.
Hey, hashtag old as dirt right there.
Oh, boy.
God said, "Let there be light," and I hit the switch. I'm
Oh,
not that
man.
much older than you.
Well, yeah, because I never had reels.
You did. You just don't remember it.
No, we had SD cards, bro.
I still got 'em.
Wait, SD
I
cards?
still got some.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Let me see
I don't
it.
have anywhere to watch them, but I still got them.
Well, you can go and buy something. You can buy something now.
It's like $1,600 for a reel, the thing to watch the reels. No. I did go out and get a VCR the other day.
A VCR.
VCR DVD, so I'm going to watch some of the old tapes and stuff.
That was kind of my era. Like
Yeah.
growing up, all my little league games were on VCR,
Yeah.
VHS tapes. And
So you
then
had the duo deck.
When the VCR DVD came out, it was
Those were
awesome.
hot.
It was hot. And then you had the DVR recorder where you could record from DVD to DVD.
Look at Dakota.
Dakota's like, well, DVR? What is that a part of the military?
Is
What
that
are we
close?
talking about?
Is that close to Blu-ray?
Hey, no, we was poor growing up. Don't worry. So I definitely know what a VHS tape is.
Hey,
Trust
when
me,
I was a
played that
kid,
lot.
my dad had a 1976 Cadillac that had an 8-track player in it. Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton, Islands in the Stream.
Yes, let's
We
go.
listened to that thing all the time. And that tape was about this big, and you put it in. Yeah.
Listen, hey, how do you know what I mean? How do you get hyped for a game?
Yeah, I'm probably a little, I don't know, maybe people think it's corny from afar, but I put the headphones in. I go out on the field and punt. So it's not necessarily punt, pass, and kick. I'll try to punt 3 balls through the other upright. So I'm not very good at it, obviously, or it shouldn't take me 3. But, put some tunes in, try to check out. Because for me, I want to – when you walk into that locker room, you want them to feel the energy that you need them to feel. And so I don't kind of cower away from that. I do understand that as soon as you walk out of that locker room, that's fleeting. And so if you're not prepared to play, the banging down the lockers it's not the most important thing. That's the fun too. I mean, you want the kids to go out there and enjoy that experience, and especially those games where you're like, might be up against it. Well, we're at least coming out of there thinking that we got something to throw at you. But throw the headphones in, kick the ball around a little bit.
Okay, no. You said put the headphones in. Okay, now we gotta have. What are you listening to?
I can tell you what he used to listen to religiously.
Is it
It was
hype?
Eminem. He was an Eminem guy, like religious, and that would get him fired up.
Kendrick is what I transitioned into, and that's not
Okay.
jumping on any version of bandwagon. But before every game for a period of time, Humble, I would turn it on. We would
Sit
get
down.
back into the locker room about
Be
12
humble.
minutes before kickoff, and I would walk into the locker room at 10. So I would have between 12 minutes and 10, very particular about the game day schedule. But yeah, to humble myself.
You remember when
To humble himself.
you remember when we put Justin Bieber on? We were playing Central, and we went in the locker room.
Oh, y'all did that then?
We developed when we went back in, we would put the Frozen soundtrack
I
on
was
for our
cussing
opponents.
Adzinger and McNeil out. I was like, man, come on. It's a damn scrimmage, and you got us listening to Frozen.
Ty used to get so mad. What are y'all playing? We played Dolly Parton one year. He got so mad.
Hey, it's the mental side. It's the mental.
If it was Dolly Parton, I'd have been okay with it. But they were playing the Frozen soundtrack, and I was like, boys, come on. Like, we're all friends. We were just in Nashville 3 weeks ago drinking beer. Come on.
And one year, me and Reader decided to dress like Bruce. Remember, we had long baggy shorts on and our tights underneath, just messing with Bruce. And then remember, Stink Rat used to get mad because we put the worst player in his jersey every year. He'd be like, that thing should be retired. And we'd put the worst player in his jersey.
It was ultimately retired, though.
Well, the other guy had it. Remember, it was Jaggers.
Yeah,
Guy had it. Was it Jamie Jaggers?
Yeah, absolutely.
Had it retired, and it was Stink Rat same. So we were like, you can't retire your jersey. Somebody else already beat you to it. So we'd put the worst player in his jersey. He'd get so mad.
Hey, this is behind the scenes, man. You wouldn't get this anywhere else, man. This is us bringing the coach's office to you guys, man. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We got Tommy Williams here, man.
That's next level. Diabolical right there.
It is, man. That's what I said.
He'd come in after the game and be so mad. Damn you. What?
It's great stuff, man.
Sorry to cut you off, but that's
because you was thinking about
you
it.
You have to know Stink, too, to know how pissed he was.
Oh, no. I coached with them 1 year, man, over at Doss. So crazy. So, man, I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. Matt, do you have any last questions?
Not any questions. Hey, I'm rooting for you. You're one of the good ones. It's just good to see you kind of handle the adverse situations you had over the last 2 years, and man, I'm proud to call you a friend. I hope invite to your house for some ribs still stands at some point in time.
Absolutely.
He can't afford it. He's got too many mouths to feed. You can bring your own.
Yeah, you got it.
Just throw 2 racks of ribs on. That's not hard. But in all seriousness, I appreciate the support because it's not an easy decision going into that different of a universe. And some of my friends immediately call me a sellout, and it's like, we got here on all in fun, obviously. But
I didn't call you a sellout.
Yeah, right.
No, he just called you Darth Vader.
Hey,
that's it.
Hey, he's got it on his own Twitter, and it's got the green on the bottom too. Don't think I didn't see that.
Somebody is sold out with his attire today.
Hey, but in all seriousness, we're coming to a Trinity game this year. We've already got the okay.
Bring him over. I have no say-so in where you get to stand or sit. I am way down the ladder on that.
We're not going to be on the field because somebody ruined that for everybody. We won't say any names. But we're going to be, we were told we could be up in the visitors' press box.
Well, there you go.
So we're coming to a game.
Good.
We just got to figure out which one.
Fair enough. Week 1 be fun.
Well, that I don't know. Classify fun.
We want to come to good games.
Dakota, listen. I know you've been over there in the corner. You know what I mean? You got the chopper going off in the background, man. Do you have any last questions or just a statement? You know what I mean? You want to make?
No, I'm kind of going on the same course that Brandon did. I won't lie. Coming from the county and everything, I don't know a whole lot about the highway. We all know this. So my introduction is with you guys and learning from you all. And everything I've heard about you, Tommy, everyone always says you're a top-notch dude, A-class, best of the best, one of the kindest dudes you can meet and talk to. So, I'm in that same boat of
I didn't say that.
They all lie.
Full of it.
There's people. I'm just going to say there's people, okay? There's people that find you kind.
It's appreciated.
I love him, but they lied.
But no, I wish you the best and everything, too. And I'm going to be curious to see how much of an elevation or help. Zane's already Zane, but like we said, a different pair of eyes, you never know what can happen because, all it takes is one person to say one thing and then, boom, you got a blowout season.
It's going to be fun to work with them. I know they've done a great job with them up until this point, but another year in a high school kid's just life in general, the maturity and the steps that they take forward, between each of those years, it's going to be fun.
How weird is it going to be, though, if you all win this year to get a ring for the team that took the one from us?
Yeah.
Isn't that ironic, though?
I still used to go back and watch that game every single year just to, stick the twisting the knife. Some of those wounds don't go.
You just want to put it
brutal.
Stick it in your eye.
Like I said, it was never a hate for me with the Trinity guys. It was always respect. Like an envy to a degree. So I don't think it's gonna bother me. I already got the logo on and it feels right. So here we go.
Do you think one last question about that? I always said we beat Scott County that year. Heiser always said no, it would have been worse.
their style of play would have been a very difficult matchup for
with
us.
our injuries and all that.
But offensively, I felt like we had the ability to score points on a lot of people, and sad that we didn't do that in the state championship.
I
But
always
it's a fair
say
debate.
that was the only team that could have beat us that year.
I'd like to think so. I'd like to think
You know
so.
when I knew we were in trouble? When they punted and the ball, you're Taiwan and I'm Claire, and the ball bounced right there. Neither one of them wanted it. And we were like,
Coach Beatty that week on the news said, well, we'll see how they perform under the lights. And
hey, remember he said we weren't ready. You remember that?
Well,
I'll
and
never forget that. He was right. He was right. He came about it the wrong way, but he was right.
Reader talked about Reader earlier, so I want to make sure that I say this. He and I are walking out of the tunnel together at the state championship. We're grown men, right? And I turned and look at him, and I said, do you think this is what it feels like to walk into heaven? And I don't say things like that. So we were all a little like, this is awesome. You know what I mean? Now, I felt like.
But how much of that game
but it
do
was
you
awesome.
actually really remember?
Sadly, all of it.
I'm talking about the atmosphere and.
Yeah, that. I mean, you try to keep.
I mean, we
yourself
literally
locked
had the
into it.
whole freaking South End was on our sidelines.
Absolutely.
It was crazy.
Yes. I mean, friends that would not typically go to a game go down there, and they tell stories about going to that and then going down to Nashville afterwards. So it was an event for everybody for sure.
Yeah. You remember after the game, nobody would go get the trophy?
I vividly
And
remember.
you remember who went and got it?
Ryan Casey.
Ryan Casey lived
Ryan
down the hill
Casey.
from me. We talk about that every
Does
time
he?
we see each other.
Yeah, Ryan Casey was.
Nobody would go get the
he
trophy.
Said, I'm going to do
Everybody
it. I'm
was
proud
like,
of this."
everybody's like,
Yeah.
And everybody just kind of looked around. Ryan goes, screw it, I'll go get it. And he was like, yeah.
I had to go grab some district runner-up trophies a few times.
I
Abel hated
chucked
those.
a regional runner-up trophy in the gym at Owensboro one year. I think it's still there.
Listen, this has been a phenomenal podcast, man. A phenomenal episode. We appreciate you, Tommy Williams.
Absolutely.
And I'm just going to say what these guys said. We're rooting for you, man. But listen, this is what we want to hear this. You know, we want to go to this game and we want to hear. You know what? Yeah, let's go. Hey, that's what I'm saying. Listen, we want you to hear that. Trinity, we want you to hear that in 2025. Man, it's going to be an exciting time, but we appreciate you very much for taking this time out, you know what I mean, and being very candid about this situation, you know, that you went through. It's adversity, baby. And this is what men do. We go through it, we learn from it, and this is what it is.
Adapt or die.
Exactly. Hey,
Go Rocks.
let's go, baby.
Go
hey,
Rocks.
hey, like we always say, everyone has a story.
We're here for them to tell it.
Cleats and whistles.
Podcast.
Let's go. Let's go. Hey, week 15. Week 15. You got to move. You got to move a little bit.
I never made it to week 15, damn it.
Hey y'all, Brandon Meredith, All-American punter. We got Dakota Waldridge, a.k.a. The Chopper. Who we challenging today?
Oh, we challenging Jackson Brazel. He thinks he can beat me in a long snapper competition.
Well, hey, I'm an All-American punter. You're a snapper.
Oh,
Let's
very
go.
good snapper. Let's do this. It's simple. This ball going right to him like that. And a 3, 2, and 1. Money. Woo!